Since I first started selling on Amazon in 2018, I've encountered thousands of people that wanted to start selling too, but despite their initial positivity and enthusiasm, they never actually made it to the finish line and became full time sellers. They simply stopped trying and they failed. And when I thought about it, I actually think that the rate of people that show initial interest in Amazon and then go on to become full time sellers is less than 10%. So, why is the failure rate so high? And why does that mean that in all likelihood, you're probably going to fail too? So, in this video, I'm going to explain exactly why and then why you shouldn't be put off by failure, but embrace it. One of the common reasons that I see people quickly failing with their Amazon selling conquests is thanks to these flashy guru adverts that paint Amazon selling as a get rich quick scheme that rewards you with cars and bags of cash with little to zero effort. But that's not the case. It does take effort and persistence. And when the reality hits, many people see their enthusiasm quickly wane and they lose interest and move on to the next big thing. But if you're watching this now and you've seen my channel before, you probably already realize that Amazon requires a bit of hard work and determination in exchange for those great rewards. And if you see yourself as an entrepreneur that's ready for a challenge, this reason for failure is unlikely to affect you, but the next one probably will. As somebody that's coached thousands of hopeful FBA sellers, I can say without a doubt that the biggest reason that people fail in becoming Amazon FBA sellers is because they let their fear of failure get the better of them. So they end up failing because they don't want to fail, if that makes any sense. Now, many people just can't get comfortable with not knowing the exact outcome of something. They want a surefire bet, and because of that, they spend forever and a day looking for a perfect product that has no flaws that they think will guarantee them success. From my own experience of selling more than 15 products and seeing many of my own students too, I can say two things. One, the perfect product doesn't exist. And two, it doesn't need to exist because customers aren't always expecting perfection when they're looking to buy a product. Just take the iPhone, for example. It's the best selling phone in the world. People pay a huge premium for it versus other phones, yet it's got flaws with its battery and its screen size is smaller than others on the market because Apple keep insisting on having that ugly notch there. But do customers care and not buy because of that? Clearly not, because Apple has built a strong brand and customers are willing to overlook the negatives because the positives allow the product to shine. And this is what you should be aiming for with the product that you end up selling, one that has a good brand that you've created and enough positives that any negatives will be overlooked by the customer. If you want your Amazon FBA business to even get off the ground at all, then you have to be willing to accept some level of risk and uncertainty with the product that you end up selling, i.e., you accept it's not going to be the perfect product. Now, by all means, you should do the diligence that you can to ensure that there's at least demand and the product is going to be profitable. But you must accept that as an entrepreneur, there will always be an element of risk and the possibility that you will fail. Whilst the statement about accepting failure as an Amazon FBA seller may petrify you, which may cause you to fail to actually choose to become one, you shouldn't let this fact put you off. But instead, it should encourage you to take the leap because all entrepreneurs, myself included, have come to terms that failure within any business area is always going to be a possibility. And I'd actually say, having gone through it myself, that experiencing failure at some point can be hugely beneficial, provided that you weren't acting carelessly or recklessly. Just listen to this clip here from a guy called John Caldwell, who created a £1 billion company from scratch and experienced failure along the way.
So it was very tough days, and very formative days. But and you can look back and say, oh, I wish it had been different. And your listeners might expect that I would say that, but I absolutely don't. I would never have changed it because it taught me a lot. And failure or difficulties teach you a lot more than success. Because if you're analytical and you look at what went wrong or what the situation was, you can learn so much from it.
The direct words from a working class man that started from nothing and became a billionaire. Failure can teach you more than success. And I've experienced this firsthand with my own Amazon FBA business. This week, I set a new record. I hit over 100K in monthly revenues, and I will do a video on that in the coming weeks. And did I get to that point by making no mistakes and not failing at all? Of course not. There have been plenty of mistakes, plenty of fails along the way that I've made, and one of my biggest even led to my first product failing, which could have resulted in me quitting had I not learnt from what happened and improved. My failure in that case was over negotiating with my supplier, so much so that the product suffered in quality, which led to a load of bad reviews and a loss of sales. And from that experience, I made sure that all future products that I had, I focused on the quality, obtaining quality products and quality suppliers, and I regularly had quality control inspections. And because of that experience, that learning experience, I've never encountered a failure issue again to do with product quality. And as a result, my business is the biggest and most profitable that it's ever been. Something that just wouldn't have happened had I not learnt from the experience of failing and becoming a better business person as a result. So while statistically speaking, it's likely that you are going to fail at some point, regardless of whether it's doing Amazon FBA or not, don't see that as a reason to put you off. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that you should act recklessly so that you do end up failing, but what you should do is accept failure as an essential learning experience that all entrepreneurs accept and go through. Understand that it's these events that shape your character and ultimately lead you to pave the way to success when you implement what you've learnt and you get it right the next time. And to quote Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, who did a great quote on failing, he failed many times before he actually achieved success with Amazon. He said, I didn't think I'd regret trying and failing, and I suspected I would always be haunted by a decision not to try at all. So there you have it. The man, Jeff Bezos, has spoken. Now, by the way, that earlier clip that I showed was from a really interesting podcast called The Diary of a CEO, which is hosted by Stephen Bartlett, who you may know from Dragon's Den. I highly recommend that you check it out so that you can hear from the successes and failures of many respected CEOs and you can learn from their stories. And Stephen Bartlett is actually doing a live free interview on Thursday, so tomorrow at 4 p.m, where he's going to be talking about building businesses, managing cash flow, achieving financial clarity, and so much more. So all really relevant stuff to anybody that's an entrepreneur. So if you'd like to attend that free masterclass, you can click the registration link below this video. Hopefully, I've not now put you off any type of business venture, but instead encouraged you to get over that fear of failure, take action, and go for it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you next time.